In the words of the most controversial, or perhaps the presently controversial music artist, Gang Gang. This is actually the Gang Gang episode, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Off the Clock. And we're right here again, right? And I'm going to just introduce myself and then pass it to my beautiful co-host over there, and we'll keep it rolling. Once again, guys, welcome. My name is John Kanu, and it's a good time to converse once again. I mean, I'll take it to my co-host over there.
Hi, John.
Hi.
You look extra daft today, by the way.
Come on. I had to.
Is it
I had
because
to
of the
baffle.
topic?
I mean, I had to, man. I had to come prepared.
Anywho, hi guys. My name is Oyinda Mola, and yes, welcome to Off the Clock.
Welcome,
you know how we do it. We have our cups, as you can see. The drinks are there. We're just chilling and vibing.
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
And you know, we brought our personal faves. That's how I would love to call these guys, right?
Yeah.
Our personal faves. These guys, don't look at the gentle face, so don't worry. You understand. You understand as we go into the conversation.
Oh, you look gentle.
Anyways, let's start with the lady over here. Please just introduce yourself to us.
You guys know me.
I don't
Yeah.
My name is Adeshawa.
AKA what?
Big Bill.
Come on now, Big Bill's in the building. And we have our senior boss over there.
Please don't call me boss.
Okay, Daddy.
Okay.
Okay.
Love it.
All right, guys. So yeah, my name is Rotimi.
AKA.
I mean, it depends on what you want to call me.
Big Bro.
AKA
Outside on the
Rotex.
street, there are different names for inside the office, outside the office.
You're rolling with all the roads, though.
So let's just call it Ro for now.
Yeah.
Welcome, Ro. Welcome, Big Bills. So good to have both
Thank
of
you
you
for having
here.
us.
Thanks for having us.
Amazing. So, the topic today, sugar daddy pandemic. Who caused it? Who
I
caused
can already
it?
hear some people saying like, something is biting me. But yeah,
So, let us even start from this very unconventional note. So, what do you understand by sugar daddies?
yeah. Shawa, please take the floor. You can.
Okay. So from my understanding of it, right? I don't know if it's right, but automatically sugar daddy is married. Like he's married. He's got money to play with. I'm not talking about change, like play with. Like there is money, the pockets are heavy. You know all those shots men that be like, when I stand on my money, I'm taller. Those shots men, forgive me. When I stand on my wallet. So I mean, it's got money to play with, money to dash the honeys. The honeys, like they like to call them, you know, they're chilling at one country club. The ladies are just there. The wife is calling. They're like, my dear, let me call you back. I know. I don't know if they are that old all the time, but like that's what comes to my mind. That's what comes to my mind when you say.
You know, the funniest thing that you say that is, I think at some point growing up, it was always the older guys.
Yeah.
But now it's so crazy that it doesn't matter anymore. And the ones who doesn't, you know, you can be a sugar daddy and you have money, you get straight. You don't need to be a daddy. I mean, but as long as
I think once you can sponsor.
straight, then you become the daddy
Yeah.
for somebody else.
on you, like.
You understand straight away.
Okay, so like we said, is this thing a pandemic before we even get there? It is. Especially in this Lagos,
Sister, I think Lagos runs on sugar daddy.
I agree.
I think the streets of Instagram and TikTok, the fuel for that engine is the sugar daddies.
True, that's true. So who's at fault though? Is it us, the women, or is it the people bringing it to us?
Let me
the provider or the. Oh yeah, now let's say from POV.
So you know the funniest thing, it's a very controversial conversation, right? Because I mean, either ways, you can point blame at both sides. But you know, one thing Cheryl actually just said, which I think is very instructive, is social media has just become, since the advent of social media, I think that exposure has created so much avenue now for people to be able to see and aspire for things that they probably could never have aspired to, right? So now, because that opening has become available, you have girls, now I'm talking young girls from different areas, you see them, they have access, they can see what their peers are doing. So I'll give you an example. Right now, you look online, you see some influencer girls, most of them, some of them are still in school, right? But this guy is driving a GLE. You get me? And then you're at home, you're thinking, I'm in year one.
You're working
I'm
for
the same 18.
some salary.
So how is that happening, you know? And that alone, as you know, that social media has created that avenue. And you know, the thing is, I think, funny enough, I don't know how it is, but I think growing up, at a certain age, you could always tell, okay, this one is a minor, this one is still under 18. But I mean, when you go out now, you see some of these young people. I mean, the other day I was out with some of my friends, and my friend was introducing his younger cousin. I mean, see this girl. Ideally, at first she was like 22, 23. But when he said she's 16, I'm thinking, hey, Jesus, carry your bag, run. You get, but the fact that I even had to get to that point to even be wondering, like, whoa, this girl is that young, but look at how she looks. So now I cannot imagine, well, this girl is online, she's done a TikTok video and she posted it online. Now there are those predators, quote unquote, on the social media that they've seen this guy and they're thinking, who is he? They're not asking age. All they're just doing is, my dear, how are you? And then now flipping it as well now to the girl side. I'll give you an example. So I was talking to Annie this morning. I met some girl about some weeks back. We've probably had like 2 or 3 conversations.
Yeah.
And today she sent like a broadcast. I don't know if it was a broadcast, but she just sent me a message. And the first thing is, oh, please, I need someone to help me do this and do that. And I'm thinking, well, I've barely even had conversations with you, but you're that confident already to come at me, to you know, to show. I might not do that, but then there are guys that at that moment take 200K straight, take 300K, take 500K instantly, and this is without even saying one word to the person, right? And so those are different things that are obviously creating or be part of the issues that have led to this pandemic.
I have a difference. Who is to blame? And I'm not trying to do men versus women. I think that topic is dead on arrival. Boys versus girl, femininity. But so here's where I come. And I don't know if it's also like as a married person. So for me, I always ask one question. Actually, when like the sugar daddy is supposedly married, and that is, who is at fault? Is it the man that made the commitment to another woman, or is it the single girl that's just out there to enjoy her life? So I would always blame the man. Honestly, I think the men are at fault. Honestly, again, especially when you're married. Like if you're a young guy, you're just out to have fun, you know, good for you, do you, right? The world is such a sinful place. Go ahead and do whatever. But when it's a married man, I always say that you're the one that made the commitment, you made the vows, you married somebody and you promised her forever, right? And just because it's in vogue, I mean, it's always been there, but now even more than ever, it's cool to be a sugar daddy because that's how your friends know that you're a baller, you know? So that's why, personally, I always blame the men. Because you made the vows, you made the commitment. The lady is single. I even say sometimes that I apologize, but I think the men are dumb. Because this girl, say for example, she wants to go on a trip. She calls man one, hello, I want to go to Italy. Buy me tickets. Okay, honey. calls man too. My shopping money, he drops the money. She calls the third guy, my hotel money. They don't care. Do you understand? They are taking from the money that you're supposed to enjoy with your family. And I know like for some men, they'll be like, the money is enough. Like there's so much to spend. But still, I promise you, is money ever enough? You know, I think it's an added responsibility on the man. You cater to your wife, you cater to your kids, and then you go cater to some girl that doesn't even.
But the question is, are they complaining?
They're not. Again, they are not.
But so you know what? I hear you on this, right? But I think a lot of the times, and this thing happens every time. You see it everywhere. You know, it starts off with. There are some guys that, yes, there are some men that are built as dogs naturally, right? So they cannot settle at all. But then I think there's also a part of even the wife plays sometimes, and most of the time I don't think they even notice that they are doing those things, but you sometimes push your husband out to go and do that. And that's, as I said, it's a controversial conversation, but it's facts. And I'll give you, and I don't want to give examples, but I can just give certain reasons to it. And part of the reasons part of the thing, so I can give you an example. Your man's home, he's come back from work, he's tired. He's had the longest day at work, had busy days, different things. Now, one thing that women don't see is, as a man, especially when you're now getting prominence, meaning your money is coming, things are becoming available for you, all of a sudden you look like gold in the eyes of every woman. Be it short guy, tall guy, skinny guy.
So the wife should be worshiping you?
No, I'm not saying no. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that. But I'm just saying, usually what happens, where these things come, it could be from one little mishap, a time when he just needs a bit of attention and the lady is not paying attention to him. And on the other side there, you have another person that is throwing 1,000,000,001 things at you. I'm not saying that's a reason to go ahead and do it, but these are some of the circumstances that just tip the man to the other side.
But Shewa, not like, I mean, I'm a girls. I agree with you that. I actually searched on Twitter like before we started the show just to like get an inkling of what sugar daddy. And the tweet I kept seeing was, any sugar daddy is there to sponsor me. Oh God, I need sugar daddy. Sugar daddy, come and carry me. So the thing is, like, low key, we the girls are asking for it. Like, we need the money. I mean, there's always like, the sugar daddy without the sugar, that just be giving me money, no sugar. But I mean, in reality, it's not possible. You must collect.
Oinda, you're absolutely right. And this is not me saying that the men are to blame completely, which is why I specified like the married men. Again, you know. But don't get me wrong. That's why I said, if you remember when I started, I said the field that is running the engine of social media right now, you know, not to say too much, and my mouth puts me in trouble. And I think a lot of it also has to, again, not to berate anybody, you know, social media is putting a lot of pressure on young people. You hear people these days. I was having a conversation, funny enough, with my sister-in-law the other day, and we were just talking about, you know, the youngies and them getting married. And she had said something about how, you know, young people nowadays, they don't want to marry any struggling man. They don't want to hear it. It's like, she was like, you know, sis, I don't know, you know, how did you do it? Like, you know, thinking, it's okay to start from here and grow and all of that. And it made me, and I agreed with her, to be honest. Everybody just wants to be rocking Louis, rocking Gucci, straight up. Like what me even said, from secondary school, there's already pressure. When I was in secondary school, the only pressure we had was lip gloss. Do you have the trendy lip gloss? This lip gloss is, and how much was the lip gloss? 15 naira, 150. As long as you were, do you understand? That was the pressure. In uni, what was the pressure? Just look good, you know, nice clothes. Once your mom is shopping for you, like, mommy, this is the style, you know. But now, uni babes have me going, Jesus. Me that I'm working. I not dress reach you. You know, so, and I get it, and social media makes it so much more. But then again, social media is fake. Because I see some people, and there's this trend where girls post like an headless man, like they show, like you don't want to show the guy, and then you know, there's, you know, like you're blocking the man's face, and then you see so many, and you're like, geez, how do you let that person?
They touch you and that's just weird. But the money is coming. They don't care.
But see, one thing I always say as well is, and this is where now this one is to guys too, and that's where I blame guys too. Is look, there's nothing wrong with treating a lady right, and spending on a lady, but the problem is certain guys, and I think more particularly now when you look at the Yahoo boys and the G boys as they call them, this set of guys, they I don't know if to say they go overboard, but there's some girls that how do I say this thing without sounding? How do I say this without sounding?
Like a good intuition.
You get, but but there's some. It's the level at which they're willing to go ahead and spoil these girls, and for them, they're not really thinking about it because hey, it's not really their money. I just hate.
Are you working
So
hard for it?
these girls are giving them this, and the problem is you're inbreeding that culture within these girls now. So imagine as a girl, you come out of school, you're 18 years old, right, and your first boyfriend, the boyfriend you have at that point in time, is giving you 1 million allowance every week. By the time you're done with that relationship, there's no going back. How are you going to go back? Where are you going back to? How? You guess you're used to, you're used to having so many things happening around you, or you're used to getting so many things. So for that girl now, at that point, all she's thinking of is, I need to up my game. It's up. It's the next. Where's the next one? She can't go from being comfortable having a driver everywhere to go and be using Uber or to jump bus. It's not possible. And so before that, I blame guys too, because men have created. They also encourage this, this habit.
But do you think that our celebrities too? So here's what I also say, right? There's certain people you see online. You can automatically make them your role model because you Google them and you can literally see what they do. You can see the businesses that they do, and it's you can take inspiration from them. But there are certain people who live this lavish lifestyle. They're traveling from here to there. Initially, you don't even know if it's fake. But what do you do? There comes the question. Okay, so what do you do? Because half of this, hey sis, you have a $25,000 bag. How many jobs have you done?
And you are selling ring lights and mics and
Do you
stuff.
understand?
And you're driving a GLE. Come
So
on.
automatically, not to judge, and then again, I don't engage in comments, I don't comment, but I read. But again, you see some people saying, oh, you don't know how God is blessing that person, you don't know this, you don't know that.
Nigerians are weird like that. If the person is a channel of blessing.
I'm so sorry, but how many movies have you been in? Like, you see a rich American actor, for example, you know the record. He's done production with Marvel, he's done with DC. You know that he's been paid to be able to afford an island. But in Nigeria, it's like, okay, how many movies have make it, so automatically what you're telling the young ones is any ways way. Any which way, just go. And it worries me because the younger generation, from 18 already, the mindset is there. I have to post.
Yeah. I saw a tweet on Twitter like, oh, my 17-year-old girlfriend, my 17-year-old sister is fighting with her boyfriend because the guy did not pay for her Uber to a date. They are both in secondary school. Both in secondary school, both collecting allowances. Do you get? And I'm like,
So imagine now. So look at how this now transcends into other things. So a 17-year-old boy is feeling pressured to be able to take care of his girl. Now that boy is there thinking, what's the next set of avenues? So now this affects. Now this goes deeper into now values. So now, all the value system that boy must have been growing up with is dead at that point in time. Because the next thing the boy is going to see is one 24-year-old boy or 25-year-old guy is now going to come in and be like, you know what, babe, but take 100K. Yeah. Imagine the girl now will say, okay, you know what, baby, I got 100K, you say, take 10K, hold yourself. It happens. I'm telling you, this shit is funny. It sounds good. But it happens.
And there's some something we had as Nigerians before. It's the value. We had a system, we had culture, we had values, we had that, when you were born, your parents were living in a rented house, but then you see them keep working, and then eventually one day, daddy's worked out, mommy's worked out, they've built their own space. It's nothing too excessive, but it's their space and they're proud of it. And daddy and mommy retire and they're just living. We had all of that. That's what we saw growing up. But now, unfortunately, what our kids and the next generation are seeing is, my God, like you said, somebody is on Instagram.
Added to this here, Shawa. So I also think, right, I stand to be corrected, right? But I also think some parents actually enable their kids. I've heard stories where most parents always pray that their kids, succeed early in life and all that and all that. Now, majority of them do not, drive down to exactly what source did this thing come from. They just want to. I saw one where the lady just started, glowing up all of a sudden and all that, and because she was sending, huge amount of money to her mom, the mom's mouth was.
See, my brother. I hear you.
I know someone. I told just to my head straight, but I don't know if I can mention the person's name. Well, yeah.
But this, and that's why I say, as much as we try and play the, let's toe the holy line, there's the reality on ground, right? And let's be honest, I'm telling you, that's the fact. Everybody is hungry. My brother, everybody is hungry. If for example now, right, I come to you and I start giving you stuff, right? I'm giving you things. Bro, you might, in your first few instances, you might think, where is this coming from? But more as the thing they shoot, they come. As they come. At some point, you're like, please, let's more become. Yeah, and then, you can be the ignorant.
Or maybe it also has to do with our economy, because if you think about it, like, again, Kemi Adetiba's new movie, To Kill a Monkey, I think one of the things that I took from it is at the end of the day, there was a man who was, he had graduated, no spoiler, he had graduated top of his class, no spoiler, watch it on time. And he really wanted to make it with his own two hands. But the situation in the country is also not permitting that. And I think Nigerians, we have this so how do I put this? American dream for them is not actually to be a billionaire. Yeah. It's to just have one white picket fence, one small house. In fact, some of them don't go to college. If you have a restaurant job, tips, you can pay the bill. It's not necessarily this huge idea of. Yeah. But Nigerian dream is I better pass my neighbor. Yep. How am I going to show? It's in our call, yeah. Do you understand? So I feel like our environment is enabling it. Yeah. Our economy is enabling it. Because back in the day, you could have a good job, go on a holiday once a year. Yeah. You take care of your family, you take care of your kids, you can pay school fees. Those jobs now, you can hardly feed. You can hardly eat.
But let me now throw a curveball in there, because I know sometimes when we talk about things like this, we always like to think about it with regards to home. So, look at the Diddy and Cassie situation. What would you call that? Is that a sugar daddy, sugar baby situation? Because
everybody wants a good life, to be fair. Everybody wants a good life.
And the reason why I bring that up is because, it cuts across anywhere, even in the most well-educated and functioning systems. It's just, and that's why I threw it back to social media. Just the fact that you can be in your place and you're seeing what someone else is doing that is your same age, same career. It's you just look at yourself and start thinking, I'll be saying that they don't myself. Why not? Why shouldn't I? Yes. As much as Cassie went through half of that thing that she's gone through at the moment, there are other girls there that are still thinking, you know what? Put me in that situation. This one, you didn't even do anything.
But then again, abuse is not. We shouldn't support abuse.
Of course,
but in 100%. A way, is also right, because for some people that was their comments, like, if it was a poorer man, would you have stayed? Is it the power dynamics? And I get that, the dynamics in which she was in, where it was like she really wanted to get her music out there and this person was in charge and all of that. Again, do we get ourselves into certain situation because we are desperate for something? What are we all chasing? That's been my question. I think even since last year, I've been asking myself, what exactly are we chasing? Are we chasing this, I want a private jet? Do we all have to have private jets? Or can we all become...
Man, I want private jet. So.
I'm not saying I don't want, but do we all... Do you understand? Do we all have to drive Lambos? Because again, it's in this same nation that somebody wants Lambo. And then my own thoughts then was, what are we passing? What was the... So for a young girl watching that, it's any which way to get that car. So are you saying that, oh, Omo, you can't get it through hard work, or you have to get certain things?
Look, it's sad.
But to be honest, let's be honest. Now, let me throw a curveball into it. Can you get the Lambo from the hard work? In this Nigeria?
Damn, you can. I think you can.
You
do?
Shall wait,
I think you can.
Which 9 to 5 will pay for a Lambo?
Oil and gas.
No!
Not anymore. I'll be honest. But can I say something? But that goes back to my question. Do we all have to have Lambos? What's wrong with a very lovely Toyota that gets you from point A to point B?
But like I said, Nigerians thrive on classism. We thrive on, like you said, I better pass my neighbor.
But why? That's the question. But why do we have to be that way? Because thinking about it, Lambo is what? It's a luxurious car. It's not it's different when it's unfortunate that you can't get a car that gets you from point A to point B. Now you want more than a car, you want one of the highest brands in that category for what luxury stands for. And then you're now saying that we have to get it any which way. When does it stop? Because after the Lambo, you're going to want something else. Absolutely. Human needs are what? Insatiable.
So good. So that's the point I was going to make. So as you know, I'll give you an example. Making reference to that show you spoke about, right? It started off with, remember, I don't want to spoil it, but there was a point where the guy said, I just need this for now. Let me just use this so we can get comfortable. And that says a lot about human nature, right? You feel, I'll go into this just because I want to just get something out of it quickly and then I'm okay. But see, I always say something. All human beings, low-key, indirectly, directly. See, we're all, what they call that, we're all greedy as people, long truth. And there's no how you can start chopping a certain life, and then all of a sudden, you just say, you know what, I've chopped it enough, I'm done.
His friend told him in that movie, this same guy that said, oh, I just want us to be comfortable. That's what he told his wife. And then at one point, he was talking to his friend like, oh, I didn't want this. I just wanted to come. I said, okay, so why do you have a 30 million naira watch? I'm like, valid question, bro. Because you could have been comfortable and gotten out. You kept going. Now you have 30 million naira. So, okay. Won't it say tell the time like the...
And I'll see the funniest part. So now, let me tie this back to the sugar daddy conversation.
Yeah.
From a sugar daddy POV, or let me just say the sugars, because there's sugar mommy too. Let's not forget.
Absolutely.
There's sugar mommies there too. But from that sugar POV, they can see that. They see that in you. They see it in people. It's kind of like now even within this space we're working, when we're working with our clients, sometimes you can already see. You see when you're giving your client a good idea, and you can see that thing in their eyes where they're like, hey? At that point, as let's say account management, client people, we're already ready to pry, because then we know, what's okay, now this is the time to now push in more and get more. The same thing applies even just in life. So those men too, you notice, okay, this girl, I've been talking to her, she no answer me. Okay, I drop 100K. She give me love struck emoji. Okay, now
Thanks, dear.
next thing, from the hi to hey darling, now that's the next response. Okay, I give her another 100K. It goes again to, oh thank you, I just woke up, I was thinking about you. The conversation changes. So it's literally the root. You get me? It's literally the root of all evil, because it just makes you, once you have it, you know the power that comes with it. And once you have that power, there's no how you can relieve power. And take it back to all these politicians you see in this country. Everybody always wonders and see things, and they're like, these guys, don't they have enough? No, once you have that position, you have that power, you have that opportunity.
But can you stay in 2 cars at the same time? But that's the question that I keep asking. And don't get me wrong, like I want to live comfortably. In fact, I want to live above comfortably. I want to live large. But then there goes my question again in, even thinking about the politicians, right? You've been chopping this money. You probably have for 10 generations to come. Your country is dying, literally. But you will still keep. So, again, is it not better to not, start? Because I don't know if anybody has been able to overcome greed. Because even when you're a genuine businessman, you already have money, but you keep working and working and working and working. You tell your still they find money. Do you understand? So how then do we combat these things? And I think that's maybe a question that humans, we need to start having. Like what are we all chasing at the end of the day? When does it stop?
Okay, so now let me see. I'm sorry, I like trading the laws. But I'll give you an example. Let's take it back. Let's go back into the biblical times, right? Adam and Eve were put on an island where they had everything. But then they still found they found
one thing.
So it's weird. I don't know. I don't have the answers to it, but it's just part of being a human, I guess. And I think those are part of the trials and tribulations we have to go through. It is. You just have to keep chasing.
Taking it biblical too, and then the other day I was reading, I hope I say right, Ecclesiastes. It's so hard. And, the writer had said, smoke. That was the interpretation of the Greek word. Like, what are we chasing? It's just smoke. Like he had said, the writer of the book, I think they weren't sure if it was Solomon or David himself, but most likely Solomon. He said, the times don't change. Things keep going. Like something is in vogue today, it goes, it comes back, it goes, it comes back. Everything is going to keep going like this. And what are we chasing? And he said, smoke. So basically, you can't grab it, but and you're right, and I think you've answered the question. It's actually very human nature. It's just everybody's chasing what's the next best thing, and I don't know how we're going to come out of it. And I think that's what's really ruined the topic we're talking about today, the sugar daddy pandemic. The ladies, the honey. The honeys need money. Single man where they do 9 to 5. He no feet. 9 to 5, no day. He no feet. It's the man that, he's built. He now has money to throw. The man too now has money to spend. In fact, the wife has more than enough. She's now massive. The children are settled.
Then you see one young bambino.
Wait, BBL.
And the girl will just come. Hello, sir. We go. Hey, baby, say it again, please. How much do you need?
Like that comedian will say, put your account number.
Exactly.
And it's actually funny. It does happen. Like, put your phone number. Like, I'm not giving my phone number. Press your account details.
You never press them. Oh yeah, be honest.
But the one thing I have to say now, bringing it back home is with Nigeria in particular. So one thing, Nigerian men, we have no regard. And I'll say we because I'm a Nigerian man. We have no regard. That's one thing I'll give that. Yeah, we have no regard. See, a Nigerian guy can be here. He can see you're with your girl. But that guy is still there and he's giving your girl the looks. And that's the one that I don't understand, especially those sugar daddies. I can give, let me even, true life story, right? This was,
I love it already.
Yeah, or some years back, right? I was out in the club. I was going back home. So when everybody's leaving the club at the same time, everywhere is quite busy, right? So I was working with this girl that I had taken out, and we're walking outside. And literally, there was this guy in the G wagon, and this guy just said, babe, come here now, I'll give you 5 million. Told her straight. Immediately, as he said it, I could see the girl's reaction. She was like, is it mad? But inside me, I saw the inside reaction because she was like, is it true? Is it possible? You can't say 5M. Now, let me bust you guys' head, right? You know what killed me, right? Because for me, I'm not stupid. So when all these things happen, me, I just laughed about it. I'm like, so you know, go collect your 5 million. She's like, no, what kind of that? So, you know, as we were going, we now got, she now said, oh, see, I'm coming. I forgot something. To be honest, I can't say what she went back to do. But me, I'm not stupid. Automatically, I don't know, say, she would have walked past that guy just so the guy can throw the offer again. And then what happens? She said, give me number.
Yeah.
If na you sef, no go.
No, but
I dey find sugar mummy too. Like.
actually, as a matter of fact, this 95.
Your helper need helper.
My husband needs help.
Let's be honest.
Oh my
But you
God.
know, and I see these things happen every time because it happens almost every other time. You know, I see different niggas pull up and different guys pull up and they try and throw different things to girls. And it's for me, I feel when I look at girls, I'm like, yo, I don't blame you. It's hard. It's hard for you to even
hard on this street.
hold back some of these things. But I've also seen situations where a man is actually trying. But these girls are relentless because they're like, you, don't worry. This is your wife.
But
Now
it's also
our wife, we're
goes to show
sharing it
that
together.
sex is cheap.
Oh, yeah.
It's
But
literally.
it also has levels, like I would say, like sex has levels. I mean, you can pick OS on the street and then you are good. But I think for men, there's a power thing that
And
they
there's
like
also
to
a level
play.
of achievement. Do you know that
Yeah.
I've heard guys talk about how the richer you
Maybe now
become,
we'll have conversation. We can talk this conversation.
the richer you become, there are levels to the kind of girls you chase. And that's when I knew that, God damn,
True.
you know, for the 9 to 5 guy, it's just any which way. And then by the time, you know, the level is getting up there, you know, apparently there are levels in that office too.
Yeah.
And not funny enough, even as you say, the
That's
9 to 5. So you know, we always talk about when we're working with brands, we tell you, you know, their target audience, they're aspirational, they're this. Even the 9 to 5 guy is aspirational. If they look some of these girls, say, I want this one where I want. I can bet you check half the guys phone or most guys' phone, yeah, and look at who they are DMing. They're always DMing above what they want now. That's human nature is for you to chase. You don't want to settle at where you are at because what's the essence?
It's a serious pandemic.
You get, and for
It's
men
a
as well.
pandemic.
So, and sometimes I see some of these men, and I want to have come to realize this. So, love, and particularly when you look at the stereotypical sugar daddies, right? The first things that I've noticed is, a lot of these guys are probably guys that they were not really so comfortable growing up, or confidence, if that's the right word.
There's
So
also
now when
that
there's funds,
there's money.
the confidence is there because now they don't even need to say much. You know, all they need to do is throw the cash at the ladies, and once you've thrown it, the girls will now show you that they can come
And
from
it's
here
not
down
only
here.
money, Rotimi. If anything, for some people, they marry for status. They just want to marry into a name, or they want to be with a guy that has a name. And then if you look at this, even this 90 days fiancé, and then you see these young guys and the grandmas that they bring, it's for the words, papers, they shall want to jackpot, so anyway, in a way, and all of that. So it's not even just about the money. It's what people are looking for. And this,
90 days, yes.
I never saw it, but you literally watch things on social media. Like, you don't have to sit down and watch something, but you can get the whole idea of it, you know. And it just shows that people are just looking for different things. And unfortunately, when it feels like, oh, I can't attain this thing through this way. How?
I can't help myself.
I can't help myself. Let me just.
I mean, can I ask a question? Sorry. So, do we think if we were living in a world where everybody was comfortable, like meaning, so let's say there's a basic salary or there's a basic income wage and everybody is on that same pedestal, nobody is higher than the other, do you think there will be other people, there are people that will be trying to get higher than us?
Because again,
I feel so. Yeah.
There will still people that will
Yeah.
bring
I feel there will
I
be,
can't
but it will be
help it.
very minimal.
yeah, and then
Really?
And then no, he's right.
I think it
Because
will be very
if
minimal.
for some people that people tag laid back, there are certain people in life that always say, oh, I'm comfortable. And there are genuinely people like that are comfortable where they are. They don't care. They don't want to push harder. They don't want. In fact, I was reading the other day. Some people don't want more responsibility at work. They're okay at certain positions. Just want to drink their gari on the fan. There are people like that, and it's okay, right? So if maybe the world was like that, maybe more people. Yeah, there'll still be those one or two people that, because there are people that are desperate for control, but it would really reduce. It would really reduce.
Yeah, and I think society does matter too. Like, say in that kind of thing happening in Nigeria, do you think like our president's daughter would want to settle like, oh, this person's collecting the same salary as I am? I don't know. It's just like I don't know.
Yeah, I think in some societies they don't care for much. You hear that in
like
certain,
in America, for example, I doubt that like the middle class are fine. They don't really like, oh, I want to be like Drake. I want to have this house.
They probably want to, but they're okay with what they have. That's how I see it.
They're okay because they know
like,
how their system works, and as long as they're in certain positions, they're okay. I think it's possible. I don't know. I honestly, but I know that as long as life remains life, we're gonna be having the sugar daddies and the honeys.
And it's not ending, Abby.
I don't.
It's not ending.
I don't see in this Nigeria. I don't see it ending.
See, now as a guy that is in this market, right? I mean, I'm not married yet, so I can speak to that. These younger babes, they're already born with that same mindset, you know, and it's sad. And I always try to wonder, like, okay, is this how the girls in my set were when they were that young too? Well, I genuinely don't think so.
I don't
think so because so my friend's brother was talking to me the other day, and he was telling me, now this boy is 21. He's talking to a girl who's 21 as well, and he was telling me about how, you know, the girl was telling him she needs pamper package. Now this boy is in NYC. The girl is in NYC. I said, yeah, I mean, you told me. What's pamper package? And I asked him, what's his pamper package? He's like, brother, I mean, if I don't understand, what's pamper package? So he was asking me, like, can I advise? I'm like, bro, I don't know. But she's like, that basically she had listed it out. So she's like, oh, pamper package is she wants to go to get a new dog. This is a boy that is doing NYC. You're doing NYC. I expecting this boy to be able to give you pamper package. And if that boy is now saying, babe, I don't have it, what do you think she's going to do next? She's looking down on him and next thing onto the boy.
You know, my dad used to say something. Back in the day, being a good girl was cool. You're a good girl is cool. These days. No, there's no good. You understand? But then you had said something as well. Entitlement. Are we also very entitled? You know, for some people, they'll tell you, if I eventually get into Nigerian politics, I go chop. Do you understand? Do you understand? Me too, I deserve to chop it, you know.
You know what, John, we need to have another political conversation.
Yeah!
That one,
Before we get to
politics.
We will not stop.
That one is
You guys, we won't stop, you know.
But because, I mean, but just to touch on that point, and I don't want to turn this into a political thing, but I mean, I have people that are within that space, so I heard a lot of conversations. And one thing I can say is the work that it takes to get into that position. It's like a job. So imagine you're trying to get into Shell, right? You know the amount of series of interviews you go through to get there. Then you now get into that place, and then they're now giving you a buffet like this. Say you no go chop everything with you.
Like, I can't help myself.
I say, I've been wanting to come here to.
If I see buffet, I want to taste all.
You understand? You know, so that one, that's another. Sorry, guys, we'll come back to that conversation another day.
Okay. And another question that I have is, you know how sugar babies can be? I mean, like we said entitlement and everything. Yeah. Some of them fall in love with their sugar daddies. Because imagine you have like someone like RMD as a sugar daddy. Like a fine, clean man in his 60s,
so do you think they fall
giving
in love
you money.
with the fineness, or is it the money?
Some people think they do. Some people think they do. But here's what I will say, right? A married man, hardly will a married man leave his wife. So my sister, no go fall in love.
But some people actually got fine with being the other girl though.
There's some, don't let me talk. There's something I wanted to say. There's one young honey that had a sugar daddy, and at some point the news broke that she was pregnant for him. God forgive me. The first thing that came to my mind, damn, she don't fuck up. Yeah. And my thought was, since you're already in the business, you would have just kept the... Now that you want to go and turn yourself to wife, they will sugar you enough. They will carry your sugar baby on top you too. You know, so again, it is what it is.
But it does happen though. I mean, I know of a situation where a sugar daddy left his wife for a sugar baby. Yeah, I know of a situation. It happen. Yes. And when that happened, they will say it's Kayamata, but it's not necessarily Kayamata.
Small, let's not lie. Oh. Some of those things are not ordinary.
It's part of it.
Yes, so.
It might not be, it might be. You know, I don't know. I'm not in the business.
I can't say too.
Wow. So honestly, I would have loved to, keep this conversation, going and going and going. But honestly, I believe this is where, we need to temporarily, I mean, we probably might even visit this conversation again at a higher level, but for now, I mean, I'm sure we've been able to pick one or two things, learn one or two things, and really, really have fun. Thank you so much, Shewa. Thank you so much.
People should not have sugar daddies. So if you need money, go and walk. They lie, yo. If they give you 5 million, collect.
Go and walk.
Work hard.
Please, work
Nothing beats hard work.
Sugar daddy no get to head. You no get to head. So come on. All right, thanks guys, and see you all in the next episode. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share, and keep watching. Bye guys.